I joined the Navy in 1990 because I had a daughter on the way. I wanted to be able to provide for her. I wanted to be able to do things. But what that did, consequently, is took me away from her. So if I had to do it again, I think I would have stayed closer. Because of that, I was 3,000 miles away in California where she was living in Louisiana. So if I had to do it again, I would have been there because it is over time, it's created a bit of distance between us because you can't make that time up. You can't go back and get it. I mean, you try not to judge yourself. You try to continue to live life and you try to give your children the now, but time is everything. I mean, a lot of us get caught up in the money of it or some of the other aspects of fatherhood or parenthood, but time is absolutely everything. Those moments you can't get back. You know, I have a friend of mine, and he because of work he had to move out of town away from his son. And the only advice I gave him is like, dude, get back as soon as you can because you cannot get that time back. You know, when you miss a season of football, when you miss a dance recital, when you miss those things, you just don't get it back. But that's kind of par for the course of a father. You know, if you're working, you're doing 40-hour week, or if you're a comedian and you're traveling around the country, you're gonna miss some moments. All you can do is create more moments. And so, you know, even now, like my daughters and I, when we get together, you know, the movies is our thing. We go to the movies, you know, and that's our, you know, daddy-daughter time. With my son, you know, he's a grown man now. He's 23 years old. But, you know, when I'm in LA and he lives in LA, when I'm there, we're inseparable for those days I'm there, those weeks I'm there. So, you know, time is everything and it never goes away. You know, I remember early on in my career, my kids be like, oh, daddy, you gotta leave again. I'm like, look, if you see daddy around here more than a couple weeks, just stop using certain stuff, okay? Like turn them lights off, okay? So they begin to learn the reality of your existence, and then they get to evaluate you versus other dads they see. So you know, if you look at Rodney Perry versus a guy that works a 40-hour week job, I'm probably home a lot more than him, actually. But there's moments when I'm going 5 or 6 days at a time, or there's moments when I'm going for 2 weeks at a time or a month at a time. But there's months when I'm home every single day and they sick of me. So we get to miss each other, you know, and that's what I try to explain to them. Let's miss each other, and when we reconvene, we'll have something great to share. But you know, I talk to my peers, and you know, we all have kind of similar stories in that there are stories that you're not a part of. You know, there are birthdays that you missed. There are, you know, times when you couldn't be there because you were, you know, creating, you know, the home for them to live in. So it's not an excuse, but you gotta work as a man. You just gotta try to find your own moments with your children.